This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update for March 10, 2023. And in the news this afternoon, West Kingston cops urged to be vigilant following demise of wanted man. Cops in the Kingston Western Police Division have been urged to remain vigilant following yesterday's fatal shooting of a wanted man in the area during a police operation. The appeal comes amid reports of attacks being planned by criminals arising from the death of Karen Angus, otherwise called Kadula, who was one of the division's most wanted. The police say a TP9SA Canik 9mm pistol fitted with a magazine containing one 9mm round of ammunition was seized. The police high command says it has taken note of the reports and warned the criminals against carrying out any attacks. The police are advising anyone with any such intention to refrain from carrying out such attacks, as the security forces will take the necessary action and apply the necessary training to defend themselves and all law-abiding citizens, said the High Command in a statement yesterday. This stance was echoed by Commanding Officer for the Kingston Western Police Division, Senior Superintendent Michael Phipps. The police who operate in the Kingston West area and the surrounding communities are being urged to remain vigilant and resolute while on or off duty. We will not retreat in our quest to create safer communities. Skank freed of charges in airport incident. Dancehall artist Skank is now a free man. A judge dismissed disorderly conduct and resisting arrest charges against the protocol DJ after attorney-at-law Christopher Townsend argued for the case to be dismissed. When the case was mentioned after 2 p.m. Thursday in the case management court, Townsend contended the case had vegetated for too long without a proper disclosure, and that was in and of itself an abuse of the process. Justice Leighton Morris agreed with Townsend's arguments and dismissed the matter. Earlier in the day, there had been an administrative mix-up, as the DJ's case, which should have been heard in case management court, was actually listed in the corporate area criminal court. When Skank did not appear, a bench warrant was issued for the DJ's arrest. When Skank turned up at 2 p.m. for his case management appearance, the bench warrant was vacated and the jurisdiction of the case was passed to case management court. The artist, whose real name is Kevin Douglas, was charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest in relation to an incident at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston last year. He was jointly charged with Shaquille Kelly and Takara Wilson. Police reported that Skank was involved in a confrontation with officials at the NMIA about 1:50 p.m. in May 2022. During the incident, he was allegedly pepper-sprayed by the police. He was attempting to board a flight to Trinidad, where he was the headliner of an event. He was subsequently charged but allowed to leave the island. Manchester councillor defends naming road in honor of Desmond, McKenzie. A Manchester councillor is defending the recent naming of a community road in northwest Manchester, Desmond McKenzie Close, in honor of the country's local government minister. Councillor Faith Sampson of the Jamaica Labour Party Johns Hall Division, in addressing Thursday's monthly meeting of the local municipality, claimed that the road was not renamed. "I just want it to be recorded that this road was not renamed. It was a bridle track that has been developed, and so it was not named before," she said. On February 10, a sign was unveiled on the road, which was previously referred to as Guava Walk Road in the farming community of Somerset. The sign has created widespread debate on social media, with many users questioning the naming of the road in northwest Manchester in honor of McKenzie. Sampson, who organized the naming of the street, defended the decision. She crossed the floor in the Manchester Municipal Corporation in mid-2020 from the People's National Party to the JLP. "Mr. Chairman, if something is wrong, the sequence in which it is called doesn't matter. But I have seen where 2 of my colleagues in recent times have named about 4 roads, and this road that was named, all hell was let loose. I just wonder why," she asked. She claimed that a community consultation was done. The road was not renamed, it was named after consultation with the residents of the area, she said. Less than a week after the sign was unveiled, it had to be removed for repair after being vandalized. The road was rehabilitated almost 2 years ago at a cost of $5 million. Government to consider leasing medical equipment. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says the government will consider leasing major medical equipment to reduce downtime and unavailability. Dr. Tufton says to address the recurring issue of equipment at hospitals being unusable or malfunctioning due to lack of maintenance or depreciation, the government is looking at leasing instead of purchasing. He says during a lease, there is an agreed maintenance schedule arrangement by the supplier.
There's some value in leasing. It may appear expensive in the first instance, but over time, what you get is the equipment plus maintenance plus a depreciation schedule that would see to the replacement of the equipment once it's used, its useful life, So it works out over the long term in terms of patient care, reliability, and consistency. Some of these equipment, to be honest with you, are suffering from a lack of or poor maintenance. And, when even with the new ones we buy and extended service warranties that we purchase, people have to fly from as far as Germany in order to service them. So if they have downtime, you have to wait a week before someone comes in. We have to build our local capacity to deal with that, and that's part of the new dispensation that we're working on.
Robinson calls for regular updates on SSL fraud probe. Opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson has renewed the call for full transparency in the handling of the probe into the multi-billion-dollar fraud at the Stocks and Securities Limited. The investment firm is the subject of an investigation following revelation of a massive fraud at the entity. Jean Ann Panton, a former wealth manager at the entity, is before the court to answer to charges in relation to the fraud. Mr. Robinson noted that the criminal investigation, led by local law enforcement agencies with international support, is ongoing. While he agreed that nothing should impede or interfere with the probe, the opposition spokesman called for regular updates on the investigation.
There is a criminal investigation which is being led by local law enforcement with support from overseas. And let me be clear, we want nothing to impede that or interfere with that. And we are as repulsed and we are as angry about what took place, and we want those perpetrators to be brought to justice. The only thing we ask for is that law enforcement provides a regular update on the status of the investigation so that people who may have lost money know where the investigation is. They have taken very strong enforcement action against other players in the industry. And they have in fact revoked licenses. And they have in fact done things that have held companies to account. So it is important to understand why they took the action they did or why they didn't. And also for the Auditor General to determine whether they had the resources. And the third issue, Minister, that I believe is important. In looking at the issue with SSL, there were government agencies who had securities with SSL. I believe it's important for the ministry to determine for all the agencies and departments, particularly the public bodies, that they are following the ministry's guidelines.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.